Good afternoon everybody, welcome to the Big Fella Stadium for today's playoff match. Yes, it is playoff time folks. Featherstone Rovers against Halifax. Quick rundown of the team news for you first of all. Starting with the Halifax team. At full-back is number 1, Ryan Fieldhouse. The 3 quarters, number 25, Gareth Potts. Number 16 is Danny Cowley. Number 23, Callum Casey. And number 21 is Tommy Saxton. In the half-backs is number 6, Scott Morrell, and number 14, Paul Mennell. In the forwards, number 8 is Luke Campbell, alongside number 24 is Sam Brooks, and also in between those, number 9 is Ben Kay. In the second row is number 11, Dane Manning, and number 27, Ross DeVos, an all ex-Rovers second row. And the loose forward, number 13, is Luke Adamson. On the bench for Halifax, number 8 is Tony Tonks, number 15 is Adam Robinson. Number 19 is Keith Holden, and number 28 is Jack Spencer. The player coach, Scott Morrell. The Rovers lineup sees one change from last time out at Keighley. At fullback is number 2, Will Sharp, and number 36 is Ben Blackmore. Number 3 is Greg Worthington. Number 1 is Ian Hardman, and number 35 is Jason Crooks. In the halfbacks, number 23 is Andy Kane, alongside number 7, Gareth Moore. The front row sees the Rovers change, sees Matt James coming in place of Kyle Trout, who drops to the bench. Otherwise it's as you were, so Matt James is alongside Steve Crossley and Andy Ellis. In the second row is number 31, Sean Pick, and number 12 is captain Tim Spears, and the loose forward, number 11, James Lockwood. And on the bench for Rovers, number 30, Luke Teasdale, number 6, Jack Bussey, number 10, Keegan Hurst, and number 38, Kyle Trout. Today's match referee is George Stokes, and the Rovers coach is Andy Hay. Joe, your thoughts out of today's game and the thoughts on the Rovers team, please?
Well, I always love games against Halifax, and today we see the team changing. Only Matt James going in place of Kyle Trout in the starting lineup. Perhaps he'll give us more go forward in the early stages, because we saw what Apac could do in the away game at Halifax, coming into the back end of the season to secure that second spot. Trout then, he's got a good work rate and he'll certainly give us something off the bench that perhaps they won't be able to handle. We now await the players to come out onto the field. You do feel though perhaps we're missing Chris Anakin as he's once again unavailable due to his commitments at parent club Wakefield.
Indeed, he is. Chris Anakin, a big loss last week and a big loss hopefully not too big a loss today. How big an impact will the result at Halifax be when Rovers came out winners by 20 points to 4? And just while we answer that, we welcome Halifax onto the pitch.
Well, it certainly gives the players an air of confidence going into today's game because they stay afloat. But they've had some results in recent weeks that have been dissatisfying to the coaching staff and the supporters. They need to change that. They need to put on another brilliant performance, particularly in the 20 minutes. But they've certainly got the front come out onto the field. Today's their day. They look up for it. Will they prove that?
Indeed, and one big loss for Halifax today for loss of Simon Johnston. Not available for Halifax today. That's a big blow to them.
Yeah, Johnston's been causing a lot of problems for us this season. He was the only try scorer in the last encounter and stepped through the line on multiple occasions when we last had them at home. But now they're going to be determined with Scott Morrell taking over as caretaker player coach in the absence of their coach. So, you know, you always feel sometimes players step up more for one of their own, and will they do that today?
Indeed, over the next 8 minutes we'll find out. It's Halifax who'll get a first use the ball. The kick-off by Gareth Moore is taken, and here comes that first drive in. We're speaking to Joe throughout the course of today's match as usual, and here comes the first step for Halifax, still in their own 20, and that's Dane Manning, a former Rover. Ben Kay, another former Rover, plays that ball through the hands, it goes. But again, good defence from Rovers there. Pushing back Sam Brooks, a good slide, 6 metres. And Sam Brooks plays the ball to Ben Kay. The ball's moved out to that left-hand side. But good defence from Rovers again, pinning Halifax back in their own 20. Early doors, a good first defensive set. Through the hands it goes, and Halifax are still stuck on their own 20. Matt James in the tackle there, alongside Sean Pick. And here's a kick from Halifax, from in their own 20. Easily enough taken by Will Sharp, who's got 20 metres to run to. Will Sharp, of course, man of the match when Rovers played Halifax. And that's a 30-metre return on his first kick. What a great return, and Rovers just got halfway.
Number 3, Adam Robinson is now taking the place of 21, Tommy Saxton. With Penn Davis as an interchange.
So Tommy Saxton just had an announcement from the announcer here at the stadium. Tommy Saxton has pulled out for Halifax, and Adam Robinson has come in. How much of that is a blow? How much big a blow is that to Halifax, Joe?
Tommy's been a key player since he's arrived at Halifax. He's really spurred on some of their movements, and when he brings it out from the ruck early in the tackle set, he certainly takes the pressure off the forwards and enables them to do something more in the opponent's defensive third. Nice little chip over the top there from Andy Allison. Well chased, the things Halifax team once again. Let's hope we can keep him here.
Indeed, let's hope so. Rovers with a great first defensive set, a good first attacking set, and Halifax once again are pinned on their own 20. Or in their own 20, should I say. Rovers' first defensive set saw them restrict Halifax to their own 20, and Halifax didn't get out of there at all. And so far, Rovers' defence is doing the same thing again. Ben Kay takes that ball on himself from that's in half back. And Paul Mennell moves in now. He moves the ball back again. Halifax this time getting just outside the 20. A good kick over the top, which again Will Sharp picks up with 20 metres to an into. He offloads it this time to Jason Crooks, who's met by good defence. That's a better kick chase from Halifax. Rovers now pinned outside their own 20. And here's Ian Hardman now. Hardman's had a fantastic end to the season, Joe.
He really seems to have refound himself out in that centre position, and let alone his defensive qualities, he's bringing it forward strongly as well. There's certainly no stopping the man when he's out wide. I don't know why he dropped back to full-back to cover the movement of other players to the outside backs, but with the options we now have there, you wouldn't like to see him move again.
Certainly not. Rovers now into the Halifax half through Matt James. Rovers now, that's a good drive from James. Rovers just short of the 40. It's with Gareth Moore, who puts a high kick up. Fieldhouse takes that just inside his own half. Gets caught. The ball's come loose. Rovers are going to be over there. Oh, well, just a second. He's speaking to his two in-goal judges. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Was it a high tackle? Is the try given? It's no try. It's going to be a high tackle. Oh, my word. It is a penalty as well to Halifax. George Stokes explaining his decision there to the Rovers players. Steve Crossley asking the question is saying that Fieldhouse is going to have to be replaced. Joe, controversy early in the match.
Perhaps a little harsh there with the high tackle. In fact, is he giving a high tackle?
It's coming down.
No, he's throwing him in. That I was going to say. Fieldhouse looked to have ducked out of the way of Ben Blackmore there, so there was nothing he could do about the shot being high, but you gotta hope he's okay. He's one of Halifax's talented players, and we want to have a competitive game here today.
Indeed we do. The scrum is being put down, so I'm not sure who's going to get the head and feed, if it's Rovers or Halifax. I didn't see the signal, but Ryan Fieldhouse is unable to continue. That is a massive blow to Halifax early doors, Joe.
It has to be the Halifax scrum here, otherwise surely he would have given the try. A bizarre series of events. We do hope Fieldhouse is okay. They're prepared to take him off in the stretcher, so I doubt he'll have any further part in today's game. It's a shame to see that two players now unavailable for Halifax could certainly cause some problems in the second half.
Yeah, both the players who are out are backs. It is Jack Spencer who's coming on in place of Ryan Fieldhouse. A massive loss to the Halifax team as the play is stopped. The scrum has been put down. I didn't see the signal as to who the scrum was awarded, so it is going to be a Halifax scrum though. Now for Ryan Fieldhouse to come off, Joe.
Yeah, it's even worse than that for Halifax, as of course Tommy Saxon was probably the player you dropped back to full back to cover for Fieldhouse. But with him unavailable as well, things go from bad to worse for Halifax now as he's applauded off the field. We've got to hope he's okay and we can get on with the game. Make sure it's a good one.
Indeed, and Gareth Moore and Ben Blackmore taking instruction from Dan Evans on the touchline during this stoppage. Ryan Fieldhouse is on his feet, which is always good news, and he is now being applauded off. And it is indeed Jack Spencer who is on in his place. So it is a Halifax head and feed at this scrum, which Paul Medal feeds, and time is back on. So how will that affect Halifax? We'll find out over the course of the next few minutes. So losing Tommy Saxton and Ryan Fieldhouse in the early stage of this match, that's got to be a big blow for any team. And how can Halifax recover? Well, of course they will now be down a substitute as well. And here come Halifax now. Stuck inside their own 20 again, thanks to great defence from Rovers. Through the hands it goes. And here come Halifax, bringing that ball. They're out to their own 20, they're almost up to the 40. That's the last tackle. And here's a kick over the top again. Will Sharp, safe as houses underneath it. Returns that ball, but he's trapped in his own 20. A good chase from Halifax, and let's see how Rovers are working out from their own 20 now. It's Blackmore. He's got the offload away to Greg Worthington, who offloads to Gareth Moore. Here's Will Sharp again. Rovers keeping that ball alive. Here's Steve Crossley now leaving Rovers to pastures new at the end of the season. Going to 4th place Castleford. Here's Jason Crooks now. Tries to spin outside tackle and Rovers are into the Halifax half. Here's Lockwood again now. Lockwood drives that ball in. That's the last tackle now for Rovers. 8 metres inside the Halifax half. The ball with Moore again. A quick kick through from Gareth Moore. Split swinger and fullback. And here come Halifax working out from their own line. Coming up to 10 minutes gone in the first half at the Big Fella Stadium. Featherstone Rovers 0, Halifax 0. And here come Halifax now, trying to work out from their own 20. Rovers doing very well at penning Halifax back down in their own 20. Early doors, Joe.
Well, you've got to pay credit to Halifax. On the kick chase, they're certainly coming up well. And the direct runners we have, as we now have the turnover, and Featherstone get the ball back in a dangerous area here. What can we do?
Indeed, it was a knock-on from Halifax in the tackle.
So let you know the winning Golden Gamble TV number is 58041. 58041.
That's the Golden Gamble winners, and that's 10 minutes into the match. For Rovers with a great chance, a great attacking chance to post some first points on the game. Here's Moore now, through the hands to Worthington. But Worthington is well wrapped up on that occasion by Paul Mennell. Ellis now to Sean Pick. Rovers need to get some momentum and need to build on this attacking chance. Instead, it's a mistake by Sean Pick, and Rovers turn over possession, Joe.
Well, Halifax desperately needed that. I'm not sure they could have survived the set there, deep into their own territory, but now as they look to break out, they're outside of their own 20. This is probably the best position to start the set from yet so far in this game.
Indeed it is. Rovers great, working very hard defensively at pinning Halifax back in their own 20. And here come Halifax now. We'll see what they can do. That's their own 30 metres out from their own line now. Ben Kay moves the ball, it's worked out over the hands on the bounce, and it's a half break from Halifax. Callum Casey gets Halifax just short of halfway. Here's Ambler, gets them up to halfway. Kay again now. It's a kick from Morell. That's the first real attacking chance they've had, the first real attacking kick. And Mr. Reliable at fullback, Will Sharp there. Thumbs off 4 or 5 men in the tackle. He's still pending his own 20, but he swatted off 4 men like there were flies there. And here's Blackmore now. Can Halifax do to Rovers what Rovers did to Halifax? And Penn Rovers back in their own 20 now. As Blackmore plays that ball to Ellis. Here goes captain Tim Spears. Not scored a try this season, Tim Spears. How he'd love one today to start the playoffs off. Crossley to Andy Kane. Matt James. Moore shows it and tries to go himself. Runs into Spencer. Here's the last tackle, says the referee. It's Gareth Moore. Skips away from one. Spears. Hardman. Crooks. Jason Crooks. Oh, yes! Oh, fantastic try for Rovers! I said it a couple of minutes ago. Tim Spears has not scored for Rovers this year. Very quick to connect that. A superb strike. His first try of the season. Tim Spears, a superb break down the right-hand side. Hardman fed Crooks. Crooks with the break, he got the pass over. Tim Spears took it with an open line, 10 metres out. A perfect start for Rovers. 12 minutes in. Featherstone Rovers 4, Halifax 0.
Well, here you have to pay credit to Andy Kane for that try. He saw, I think it was Rossley Vogt, he was shooting up out of him. He stepped on the outside, and then instead of going for the kick on the last tackle, we saw he had that overlap on the outside and sent it out there. Hardman held up his pass well and was able to thread Crooks out down the outside, who kept his head up and was able to see Spears rushing on down the inside to get his first try of the season. Crossing the pre-season, setting the world record for fastest try. Who'd have thought it had taken him so long to get on the sheet in the competitive season.
Indeed, as the Rovers fans in fine voice, as Rovers retake positions, the conversion is good. So, 13 minutes on the clock. Rovers go first one. Featherstone Rovers 6, Halifax 0. What a superb start for Rovers. Getting Halifax that superb play on defence. And then getting the first blood. And here comes Matt James now. That's lifted the atmosphere here at the Big Fellas Stadium. Here's Blackmore from Acton halfback with a half break. Well wrapped up though by 2 players, Paul Mennell being one of them. Here's Lockwood. This is better defence from Halifax, penning Rovers back. Here goes Crossley again now, taking that ball in. Ellis takes on the line himself, looks for the offload, there's no one there. Finds Steve Crossley to Spears. Spears to Hardman. Hardman on the outside. Rovers looking good at the minute. This is the last tackle. Will Sharp attacked in halfback. It's a kick from Andy Kane. It's a deep kick, it's well easily enough taken. And another good attacking set with another good chase. Joe Rovers' confidence is shot up with that try.
Yeah, Featherstone definitely with their tails up now and they're in the ascendancy. Those early balls for Halifax are going to cost them coming into this game. Can they get their spirits up and give somewhat of a fight back? That's it.
And the way Rovers are playing a minute, Rovers looking superb on attacking defensively. Halifax struggling to get over the advantage line on every play. Ben Kay finds Mennell. Mennell with a kick through, it turns Will Sharp around. He'll let that one just run dead. And he will bring that ball back and he will restart on the 20. If the referee will let him, I think he will on this occasion. Here is the tap from Will Sharp and it's Sean Fick is in trouble. He's having to be replaced. Who's coming on? It's Jack Bussey. So Jack Bussey is coming on for Sean Pick, and a loss for Rovers in the forwards.
His finger.
Looks to be a problem with Sean Pick's finger.
Yeah.
This is getting tasty, folks. Andy Ellis offloads to Lockwood on the charge. What a game we have got here, folks. Here's more. More offloads inside to Andy Kane. Steps away from one. Tries to duck under another. Pops the pass up to Jack Bussey. This is the last tackle. Ellis. Oh, it's a shocking pass. That's a shocking pass, and Rovers turn over possession. Joe, this is getting tasty.
Certainly is, but at least we're turning over possession in the right areas. We're now over 15 minutes into this game. Halifax still a top possession in the Rovers half. Been an absolutely phenomenal defensive effort so far, but we know we can come undone when defending on the line. So we need to make sure we keep them in this end of the field.
Indeed we do, and here at Halifax now, how big a loss is Sean Pick?
Well, you've got to hope he'll be able to come back and rejoin the action later on. The finger it was a bit repulsive, to be honest. But hey, he's your second row and fingers are for passing. Who needs him?
Indeed, who needs him? That's a kick through from Halifax, and the scrum will go down in the Rovers 20. Just over 15 minutes gone, a frenetic first 15 minutes go. Living up to your expectations?
Yeah, you know, it's always going to be a tasty fixture. Rovers versus Halifax, the recent history between the two clubs, and plenty of play across the divide between them, so there's always going to be everyone up for it. Will we see more of the fight back? Will it be more tense in the second half and coming into the later stages of this half? Halifax have to put up a fight, and they need to get the ball in our end of the field, to be honest.
Indeed they do. Rovers superb in defence when Halifax are in possession, they're penning them back as Greg Worthington juggles it, but does manage to hold on. Wrapped up well by Dane Manning there. Here's Lockwood now. Gets Rovers up to the 40, pumping those legs. Ellis to Matt James. He's had a blinding start as James looking for the offload. Jack Bussey looked like he was tackled without the ball, but the referee's saying no, that's okay, the ball's can loosen. Here's what Halifax wanted, an attacking set in the Rovers half.
Yeah, just on the brink here, what can they do with the ball? You do have to feel though, a lot of the attacking talented players aren't on the field right now, so they'll be limited in what they can do, but perhaps Scott Morelli's new role of caretaker manager and captain, of course, maybe he can come up with something. They need him to.
Certainly do, and here at Halifax, that pass on the bounce to Gareth Potts over on that far side. Here's Ben Kay. And that's a good drive through by Ross Devotee. Plays the ball to nobody, then Ben Kay gets there quickly. Here it goes through the hands, it's Menno. A long pass out wide. What a tackle by Gareth Moore! Oh my word, folks! This is getting tasty, and that's a penalty for Halifax. A try-saving tackle from Gareth Moore. Oh, we'll come to Joe and Joe's thoughts on that in a minute. It's Halifax now, though. 6 tackles on the Rovers line. Ben Kay will take this tap. Menno. It's Jack Spencer. Plays the ball to Ben Kay now. And that's another penalty. Take the 2, Halifax, I would. Ben Kay, here's Luke Ambler on the charge. Rovers need to really make sure they're releasing these players quickly. That's a bullet pass out wide, but again, good defence from Rovers. So far living up to expectations on their own line. That's been something they'll have been working on in training. Here's Menno though, shows it inside. Jack Bussey drops off 1-on-1, but it's well covered by Steve Crossley. Ambler, Menno. Halifax hammering the Rovers line but can't find a way through at the minute. As Ben Kay goes for himself. He's got the ball down. Halifax are over. It all came from them. It all came from a superb attacking chance. A try-saving tackle earlier in the set from Andy Kane. On the last tackle, Ben Kay from acting halfback saw the gap, manages to get the ball down, and Halifax hit back. 20 minutes on the clock. Featherstone Rovers 6, Halifax 4.
Well, it's gutting to see that. We know our defensive issues spring up when we're defending on our own line. For the first time in this game, Halifax found themselves in that area, able to get their way over. You don't see Ben Kay scoring many like that. We did here today. We've got to stack in, we've got to get down low, and we've got to be able to keep them out. It's a sloppy try to concede, not the kind that we want to see in the game today. Stands short of level after being so dominant in the first 20 minutes of today's game.
Indeed, we have been very dominant in the opening quarter today. But Halifax hit back, so what can Rovers do now from this? I think it was Menno. And so Rovers then will restart this match. It'll be Gareth Moore with the kick-off. Scores a level again. Kick-off is taken by Menno, and here's that drive from Luke Ambler. Swats Tim Spears away like he's a fly before Tim Spears recovers and completes that tackle. Halifax attacking down their left channel. It's Callum Casey. Here's Sam Brooks now. Okay, again. Halifax up to their own 40 now. Centre field. Ben Kay moves the ball to the right hand side. That's a kick through. That's found touch, okay. So a good kick there from Halifax, turns Rovers round. The scrum will go down. Just outside the Rovers 20.
Keep your eyes open for any changes as well.
So Gareth Moore feeds the scrum to Greg Worthington. Worthington takes that first tackle as Rovers are making a change, and Matt James is coming off for a well-earned breather. It's been replaced by Kyle Trout as Will Sharp takes that in. Halifax are making a triple change. Tony Tonks, Davis and Holden are all coming on. Blackmore gets Rovers over halfway now. It's a good drive, just short of the 40 now, Rovers. Andy Ellis waits. Here's Crossley, takes on that line. Still going, Steve Crossley gets Rovers up to the 20. Ellis, Moore. It's a kick over the top from Moore. That's a chase, that's well taken. They're well defended by Rovers. He's managed to stay just in the field of play. A superb effort from Halifax. Now Halifax back where Rovers want them, on their own line. Rather looking for a penalty. Rovers were looking to keep this tight defence intact, as they have done for much of the first quarter. Halifax have made a triple change. I think Ben Kay is one of the ones who's come off. That's a kick over the top. It's gone centre field, splitting the two, and is it Blackmore? It is who picks up. He'll take that, return that ball well. Moore from acting halfback finds Will Sharp now. Rovers fans wanting Halifax back. Kane to Jason Crooks. 12 tries in 13 games for Jason Crooks. Kane. Kane again, here's Kyle Trout. Certainly a very different game to the one at the Shea a few weeks ago. A kick from Gareth Moore from just inside his own half. That's well taken on the full by Danny Cowley, who looks to have switched out to the wing momentarily. Cowley and Blackmore having a bit of a to-do there. Holden from acting half-back moves the ball inside. Keith Holden again waits his acting half-back. Here's Mennell. Oh, that's a superb pass! Here goes Devotee. Devotee against Sharp. That's a forward pass, surely! Surely that's forward! It's going to be given. Rovers fans don't like it, but the lowers and over on that far side. It was a great break from Devotee, and he got the pass away to Holden. I'm sorry, from where I was stood, it looked to be a good yard forward. The referee though has given it. Featherstone Rovers 6, Halifax 10.
Yeah, from where I stood, it looked plumb as day, to be quite frank. We are way up here, they are down there, their eyes are closer. I'm touching straws, but maybe that's why. You can't be letting people through the line like that though. Devotee had plenty of options either side, and regardless of his passing ability, we shouldn't be in that position and we shouldn't have conceded that try. Now in a half that we've largely dominated, we're going to find ourselves even further behind if he makes this conversion.
Indeed we are. There is the kick. It has been missed. The fans on the far side tell you that. As Rovers are making a double change. On comes Luke Teasdale. On comes Keegan Hurst. So off comes Lockwood by the looks of it. And I'm guessing Andy Ellis as well. And so then Moore's kick-off. Taken goalkeeper style by Paul Mennell with the pass inside. Now Halifax's tails will be up. Keegan Hurst in that tackle, along with Trout and Crossley. That's three players I wouldn't want to run into head on. Halifax now working the lines better. Teasdale, it does appear, hasn't come on yet, or if he has, it's not been announced.
Teasdale is on.
Teasdale is on.
Think undershorts.
It's a good kick, is it a 40-20? Blackmore does well to get there, but did it find touch? The linesman flags up just. It is a 40-20 though. Rovers from largely dominating the first 25 minutes. Halifax are getting up ahead of steam, Joe.
I'll tell you what, thank goodness that was giving us the touch as Ben Blackmore tipped it inside, and they only looked to be Halifax players rushing on for what would have surely been a certain try. Now though, 10 minutes to go and there's pressure on the Rovers. They've so far not been able to hold strong when on the line. There's plenty of frailties there that could be exposed. We need to make sure we get them wrapped up.
Indeed we do, as Mennell takes on the line, is wrapped up though by Trout and Spears. Here's Tony Tonks. Is he over? No, that could have been a double or triple movement. Never mind a double. Halifax working down the left-hand side, the right-hand side, sorry. Taking on the line. Here goes Mennell. That's a loose pass, it's picked up on the wing. Andy Kane appealing. Never mind appealing, get back in the defensive line, mate. Halifax attack down the left again. It's a good kick through. Where's the chase? Where is the chase from Rovers? Is it given? It has been given. The kick through from Menno. Rovers just stood and watched it. And a great run through. I didn't see who grounded it, but the ball is grounded. Rovers and Halifax have a 2-score lead. Featherstone Rovers 6, Halifax 14.
Ludicrous here. Just ludicrous how we can be dominating a game to the extent we were. They get into our area twice during 3 times now during the entire first half, and this is what happens. It's ridiculous. We do need to smarten up our defence on the line. I don't know whether it's individual errors, I don't know if it's organisation, but the formidable display we've been putting on in the middle of the park does make you question why. I'm not sure about it.
So it's Featherstone Rovers 6, Halifax 16. The message from Rovers now has got to be clear. No more conceded, and a try for us would be very nice, thank you very much. Rovers need to go back to what they were doing so well in the opening 20 minutes. Penning Halifax back in their own 20. Here's Tony Thompson now. He was so close to scoring himself in the build-up to that last try for Gareth Potts. Halifax making the odds better now. Here's Keith Holden. Halifax back. That's got to be an obstruction. Referee no says no. Luke Teasdale is now on. That's a kick through from Halifax, finding touch. Joe Rovers just need to keep things. Another try would be very nice, thank you, before half time.
We heard Andy Hay at the back end of last week's game saying that the pressure was off now for the playoffs, given the huge strain that had been put on the team, going for that 450,000 in the league. But lads, you're playing like you don't want to be in the grand final. Going forward with such big, you're defending in the middle of the park so well. But then, I don't know, is the effort not there on the line? Now that we receive the penalty, we come upfield, and do we now have the opportunity to set things straight? Not long left in this half, what can we do? As the clock now goes up to 10 minutes remaining.
Indeed it does, a penalty. That was a good touch finder from Gareth Moore. From his own 20, getting Rovers to halfway. Here's Teasdale now, finds Moore to Kane. Hardman almost through, well held on by Halifax. Kane himself, Spears to Will Sharp. So dominant Will Sharp against Halifax a few weeks ago at the Shea. Here's Teasdale now to Kane, shows it twice, finds Moore. Moore to Sean Pick is back on. Andy Kane to Keegan Hurst, looking for the offload, finds it to Andy Kane. Kane to Kyle Trout. Trout sees the gap and goes for it. That's the last tackle. Teasdale to Kane. Kane with a kick through. Well covered by Halifax. And now can Rovers keep Halifax down here? No penalties. An offload there from Halifax allows them to make another 10 metres. Joe's not happy with it. Can't imagine what Andy Hay thinks. And Rovers have come up with possession. It's Sean Pick who drops on the loose ball. And a penalty. Moore wants to take it quickly. The referee says no. No, you don't. So Steve Crossley is off for Rovers. Moore does take it now to Kyle Trout. Rovers 6 tackles on the line. 8 minutes left on the clock in the first half. Teasdale to Hurst. Well wrapped up. 3 Halifax players in the tackle. Such a big man to put down though as Keegan Hurst. Teasdale is over! Luke Teasdale is over for Rovers. Rovers are back in it. A superb hooker's try from Luke Teasdale. Keegan Hurst did all the hard work. Keegan Hurst doing all the hard work to make the yard. He was held up. Managed to play the ball to Luke Teasdale. I thought it was Luke Teasdale. The try's been given to Kyle Trout, announced as Kyle Trout. I'm pretty sure it was Luke Teasdale. It was Luke Teasdale. Everybody says around me. Featherstone Rovers hit back. Featherstone Rovers 10. Halifax 16.
I think Kyle Trout would be chuffed if he were that nippy off the line, to be fair. Yeah, Keegan Hurst there taking it in, and so many men around trying to bring him down. It's more like being a lumberjack now, rugby league player. Cedar Oak. But then he's not taking advantage of all. He's marching around the rock and able to find his way over. Going wrong. Such a good finish, man. He's so aware of what's going on around him. So we can see more the train now.
Indeed, certainly one for the future as Luke Teasdale. Rovers are back within 4 points now. The kick-off is taken by Moore. Here goes Kyle Trout, the alleged try scorer then. The stadium announcer has now rectified that as Teasdale waits. Teasdale takes on that line, running at players who were offside but not making contact. Worthington now from Mats in half. Rovers doing a lot of work from Mats in half back now. Here's Moore to Bussey. That's a better set from Rovers, just on that, just short of halfway. Still got tackles in hand. Here's Kane. Steps inside one, and that's the last. Rovers 5 metres inside the Halifax half. Teasdale to Moore. Moore with a kick for the corner. Bounces nicely. It's going to find touch. Halifax. That's found touch. 8 metres inside from the Halifax line.
This Wednesday, September 17th, we've got the first team player of the year award tonight.
5 minutes left in the first half here at Big Fella Stadium. Featherstone Rovers 12, Halifax 16.
That's this Wednesday, September 17th, the first team player of the year award tonight.
A good set from the score in the try, a good attacking set from Rovers. Able to pin Halifax back now, and they need to tighten up the defence. Get back to what they were doing in the opening stage of this first half, pinning Halifax back. That's more like it was a hit, but the offload is just picked up by Menno, and if it hadn't made the offload, Halifax have lost ground on that play. Here come Halifax attacking down their right, the Rovers left. Andy Braycheck's on for Halifax, and that's Tom Spencer. Andy Braycheck's not on because he's not playing. I misread the back of his shirt. That's better. Here's Holden. That's the last tackle. Don't think Halifax know. That's a kick through. Taken by Will Sharp. Offloads to Blackmore. Blackmore tries to skip away from 2. Another try would be very nice just for Rovers. Try and go in level at least. Here's Worthington now. Takes on Ross Devotee. Teasdale tries to go himself. Moore with a kick from Martin Half. He's in his own 40. The idea was there. Gareth Moore was just inside his own 40. Going for the 40-20. Instead of 40-20, it was out on the full job.
So now Christian's played, you wonder, you're trying to keep deep, yeah, you're searching for the 40-20, it's just not your day today with that, trying to follow it suit as Halifax has done. We do have pace on the fringes though, is it worth kicking it deep to the outside early in the tackle camp before the wingers drop back?
Something Joe and I have discussed on a number of occasions. Here's Tony Tonks. It was something that happened a lot at Halifax, so it had a complete line in the first 2 or 3 tackles in the first tackle in a set. Here's Mennell though. It's a good drive in. Here's Mennell again. Sees the gap, goes for it. Well wrapped up by Hardman and Spears. Tonks on the charge. Is he over? No. Oh, I thought he might be for a minute. A superb effort from Keegan Hurst to keep him out. Mennell with a looping pass. That's got to be forward. It is. I thought for a minute that Halifax might have been overthrown Tony Thomas. He was a yard short. And then on the next play, a basketball pass from Paul Mennell floats about 4 yards forward on the last tackle, so it's a turnover, Joe.
Yeah, that pass just a tad forward. Oh, as Rovers win a penalty here. Malicious challenge there as we bring it upfield now, coming into the final minute. Let's hope we can do something good here. Let's hope we can find our way over again. Yeah, just a tad forward with that pass there, but Rovers now stacking in the defence, forcing Halifax to play out wide, and they've got people missing in the backs, so make them play out there. They haven't got the talent to score tries.
They certainly haven't. A bit of a flat penalty from Rovers as Keegan Hurst gets the offload away to Teasdale. Well, shrugs off two and makes another 12 yards. Is that a penalty to Rovers for stealing the ball? There's a minute to 8 seconds left on the clock. Moore has the ball. Gareth finds Rovers have got a minute inside the Halifax half to try and get over this line. Worthington takes the tap to Moore. Here's Keegan Hurst. That's another high tackle. The referee says that's on the shoulder. Here goes Jack Bussey for the gap. Ball's come loose. It's a knock on. So it's going to go in now. Rovers aren't going to score again unless Halifax lose it. Rovers are going to be trailing in the sheds at half time. Here's Mennell.
You know 6 is Morel. Okay? Mennell's 25, isn't it? Yeah, but I think he's...
Here's Adam Robinson. Halifax now just short of halfway. With Callum Casey playing that ball. Morel has a kick, and Will Sharp has it. Kick and chase, Will. No. That'll do, folks. That's your lot at half time. And what a first half it has been. End-to-end match. Rovers are superb defensively in the opening 15-20 minutes. That was compacted to a try for Tim Spears, his first of the season. After 12 minutes, Ben Kay then managed to find a chink in the armour on the quarter with a try from dummy half to make it 6-0 after Morel's conversion. Then Halifax managed to get again the nose in front before Gareth Potts' try to get him an 8-point lead to make it 14 points to 6.
Then on Saturday, October 25th, we have the
Luke Teasdale then managed to get over. That try from Potts was converted. Teasdale managed to get over to reduce the deficit down to 4 points. End-to-end stuff at the Big Fella Stadium. A superb first half entertainment job.
There's some funny action both ways. Save for the fans to cheer about, but yet again it's this line defence which we're struggling with. And for the bigger games, Halifax are a beaten side at the moment. But teams, Sheffield, Lee, of course, in form all the way through the season, but Sheffield now coming into a fine vein of form. And the way they kick to touch, they're going to be in our half plenty of times if we come up against them. You've got to have this line defence up, you've got to be able to hold out on a few occasions, as other teams do against us. Therefore, percentage-wise, it makes your tries worth more.
Certainly does. It's been a difficult first half for Rovers. They did get the early score, and also the loss of Ryan Fieldhouse early doors, and also the loss of Tommy Saxton in the warm-up. When you see those things happening, it must give you a lift as a player.
It gives you a lift as a player. There is an extent to which an injury doesn't get the adrenaline pumping too much because there's a bit of commiseration to the other side. It will without a doubt affect Halifax in the second half though, as they're weak off the bench now. They've got limited options and less in terms of numbers, of course. Also, it's wasted one interchanges early on, so they can't afford to be swapping things about. Maybe fitness hotels, maybe that'll be something that comes into play. We use these and we players who take advantage of that, particularly our fast hookers, Andy Ellis and Luke Teasdale. I'm not sure if tired legs will be able to deal with them.
Certainly not. If you're Andy Hay at half-time, what are you seeing in that dressing room right now?
Lads, wrap them up near the line. Let's get stacked in. They've not got the great ability outside that they're going to be able to run in for a shitload. But certainly they've got big men down the middle. Smart players like Ben Gay who find their way over.
Well, so here we are at Big Fella Stadium. It's half-time. Featherstone Rovers 12, Halifax 16. Welcome back to the second half here at Big Fella Stadium. Featherstone Rovers 12, Halifax 16. As Halifax are coming back out onto the pitch. Other scores in the playoffs today for the championships. Our Leeds Centurions are currently beating Doncaster by 24 points to 14. And Dewsbury are beating Workington Town by 20 points to 0. As captain Tim Spears leads out the Rovers. Rovers will get first use of the ball in the second half. Playing down the slope. So how big effect does the slope have on this team, do you think?
I didn't hear a word you were saying over the Pirates of the Caribbean music.
How big an effect?
But the slope, yeah, it's a wonderfully flat surface. It's of Super League standard, without a doubt. I mean, the distance between the 50 and between the 40 and the 30, you know, that's nothing either. So, yeah, it's a wonderful field.
And the kick-off by Halifax. Oh, did it touch? It's out on the full, I think. It's gone out on the full. It was touched by a Rover, but the Rover who touched it had her foot dead. So Rovers have a penalty on halfway. Halifax questioning the call.
No, it was struggling.
It had a foot in touch, and so having a foot in touch, the ball goes dead. And it was touched by a Rover with a foot dead. A perfect start for Rovers to restart the match. And here's Keegan Hurst now. Teasdale to Kyle Charles, who juggles it, and the chance has gone, and here's a break for Halifax. It was Luke Adamson. Joe, Rovers get possession from a penalty, and Kyle Charles just couldn't take it in. If he had done, it was over.
Yeah, it was a bit high, to be fair to Trouty, but yeah, just a bit too slippery for Charlie. Unable to keep hold of the ball. Now Halifax break into the Rovers. Now something they didn't do often in the first period, but they were particularly effective when they did.
Indeed they were, and that ball's come through. A loose pass it was. There was a loose pass by Keith Holden. And Rovers back in possession. Here's Jack Bussey. There was a huge shout underneath me for a knock-on earlier on, and Jack Bussey now losing possession. He's saying it was stripped. The referee's saying no, it wasn't stripped, you just lost it. And again, Rovers turn over possession. So here come Halifax again now. Dane Manning plays the ball to Holden, who moves the ball inside to Jack Spencer, just inside the Rovers half. Holden again, here's Morrell. Here's Gareth Potts, plays the ball to Holden, moves the ball inside to Ross Devorty. Halifax are inside the Rovers 40 here. Morrell looking to orchestrate things. Holden finds him. Through the hands it goes. Pass right along the line out to that winger on that far side, which is Adam Robinson. Here's Morrell again with a kick over. It's bounced awkwardly, and Will Sharp is able to take it. Andy Kane to Jason Crooks. Here's Keegan Hurst now. Teasdale to Kyle Trout. Halifax doing to Rovers, and this is what Rovers did to Halifax in the first 20. Penning Rovers back in their own 20. Here's Worthington though. Gets Rovers out to the 20, up to the 40 almost, and that's the last tackle. Here's Moore. It's a high kick from Moore. It's going to bounce dead. Indeed it has. So that'll be a tap restart on the 20 for Halifax. That's a good break though from Casey. Halifax attacking down the left. It's Rusty Vorty, I think it is. As Holden waits now. Here is Robinson. Holden waits. Morrell. Adamson to Tony Tonks. Halifax are in the Rovers 40 now. And that is a knock-on by Tony Tonks. Doesn't look happy with that call. But Halifax turn over possession in the Rovers 40. Both teams feeling each other out almost in the first 5 minutes again, Joe.
Yeah, some stern defence. Tonka not happy there, but for both teams, ball retention proving a real issue in these first 5 minutes of the second half. Now Rovers with the ball on their 30 looking to break out. Need to do so here, need to get the ball in the Halifax half.
Indeed they do. Halifax are currently with the noses in front. Here goes Will Sharp from acting halfback. And Rovers 3 metres short of halfway now. Shout to Moore, Andy Kane, Tim Spears gets Rovers on to halfway. Teasdale finds Keegan Hurst. Keegan Hurst looks for the offload, gets the offload to Andy Kane. Kane puts it up to Moore to Jack Buffy. That was a forward pass. And I'm sorry to say, folks, I think it actually probably was a forward pass, to be fair. Loss of concentration there for a minute by Gareth Moore. And once again, turning over possession, Joe.
Yeah, a little too obvious there was the pass going forward. Ball retention, lads. That's off a completed set right now, let alone the try.
The look on Joe's face there says it all as he says that. The scrum will go down just inside the Halifax half. The thing is, for either of these seeds, both of these teams, should I say, they know who they'll be playing. The loser knows who they will be playing straight away, because Sheffield obviously victorious yesterday, beating the Batley Bulldogs. So both teams know that the loser will be playing the Sheffield Eagles next weekend. And so here come Halifax again. That's better defence though from Gareth Moore. Halifax trying to work up to the halfway line, just being penned inside their own half at the moment. 3 in that tackle, Pick, Hurst and Trout. An offload away, not covering the ball very well. The ball's gone loose, it's Tim Spears. Oh, that's a almost Superman's head off. Come on, referee. Halifax is certainly trying to, well, I don't know what they're trying to do, but whatever it is, it's working. Keegan Hurst again with the drive. Rovers are up to the 20. The ball's come loose. It's a knock on for Keegan Hurst. Scott Morrell trying to fire his players up. Joseph?
Some very interesting things occurring in this phase of play.
That's all Joe's got to say on the subject. I think he's a bit lost for words at the minute. But Keegan Hurst almost looked like he was trying to have his head ripped off. And then the ball has come loose. As Tony Tonks comes off. And back on comes Luke Ambler. And it's a knock on now from Halifax. Joe, you've been saying it since the start of the second half. Ball retention, surely. Neither team wants to complete a set in a minute.
This is comical now. But surely for Halifax as a team who's already down in player numbers, you know, You know what? Don't want to be defended as much as they are at the moment. They're going to want to keep hold of the ball, stay on the attack, and not cost themselves as much with fatigue. Rovers are certainly helping them out though, and Andy Kane struggling to take that ball that were well in front of him there.
Indeed, the only consolation for Halifax is with their ball retention is that Rovers at the minute are doing the same. Here's Luke Teasdale now. Andy Kane shows it once and puts it off to Kyle Trout. The fans on the far side trying to lift the Rovers team. Here's Moore to Sean Pick, who offloads to Teasdale. Moore, Bussy, takes on the line himself. Tim Spears holds his hands out saying, why didn't that come to me earlier? Moore now, Andy Kane, Hardman. That was on the last tackle. Ian Hardman trapped on the last. But if you are going to be trapped on the last, what better place to do it on the opposition 10. That tap is taken. Here come Halifax now. They're trying to work out. They would love a penalty right now. Rovers need to keep the discipline. Here's Ambler. This is better defence from Rovers, pinning Halifax back. 3 tackles gone, they've only made 10 metres. Here's Ambler again, offloads. The ball's come loose again. Rovers have got the ball again. Moore, Sean Pick, once again. Halifax cannot complete a set. And here comes Rovers, it's Keegan Hurst. Shrugs off one, shrugs off two. Keegan Hurst, what a run. Teasdale now, Kyle Trout. Oh, Rovers are barging them over every time. Teasdale, Jack Bussell. More, Jack! What's been given there? Oh, Rovers penalised for crossing. The tension in this game, Joe, is unbelievable.
Yeah, that only added to the fact that neither side can keep hold of the ball for 10 seconds. There's more there going behind team space. You've got to be a bit more heads up than that. Be aware of what's going on around you. As now he leaves a bit of pressure that we were just starting to build on Halifax. What a run in the middle of the set from Keegan Hurst though. The Hurst taking Halifax to the graveyard. He shrugged off so many men on his drive.
It did indeed, and Halifax now just short of halfway. In fact, they are on halfway. Just to the left of the centre spot. Mennell gets a pass out wide. Mennell's staying down. That'll be a massive blow to Halifax if he's struggling. And what a lift that'd be for Rovers, but Halifax. The physio's on, says he's okay. Halifax on the 40 now. Morrell. Devotee. Halifax 23 metres out centre field. Morrell. Kicks for the corner. That'll do Halifax very nicely. I think we're going to see the return. And Steve Crossley. So Lockwood and Crossley are both going to be returning overs. Interesting to see who comes off here. As Andy Kane feeds that scrum, it looks like Tim Spears is coming off, along with Keegan Hurst. The captain takes a breather, Joe.
Yeah, there's been a lot of play coming inside, being heavily worked by Halifax, and they look dangerous down this left edge. So perhaps he does need a breather, he can come back on and reinforce his position in the side. Obviously, he's been out recently and only returned to the side with a long injury. You don't know which is at the moment.
Throwing that tackle, here's Moore with a kick from inside his own 40. The angle of the bounce, unfortunately, is not good. I thought for a minute the way it bounced, it's held up. And there's going to be a penalty there. I'm not sure, I think it may have been Jason Crooks with a high tackle. The groan went out from the whole stadium. Ian Hardman now captain on the field in the absence of Tim Spears. Just asked the question of the referee. Halifax physio is on again. Joe?
Yeah, not what we want to be seeing there. Good committed chase there, lads. And a good kick from Gasmore that held up. And he sent it from deep as the ball now rolls along the roof above us. I didn't see where that came from then, so I was breaking it a little bit, to be honest. But now Halifax bring it in and they're coming upfield. He told them back here.
We do indeed. Halifax just short of halfway. Ben Kay is back on. Here goes Luke Answorth. Gets away from two before being knocked up by Bussey and Teasdale.
Substitution Halifax, number 9, Ben Kay, replaces number 19, Keith Holden.
It's Keith Holden who's gone off for Halifax. Ben Kay. Scorer of the first Halifax try, of course, Ben Kay. Surely that scrum's going to go down. It is. It's going to be a scrum down for Rovers, surely. It is indeed. That being the free play, of course, when Blackmore forced into touch. Yes, another mistake for Halifax. It's like neither team wants to score any more points, isn't it, Joe?
Well, that'll be okay for Halifax, however, but we're the ones who need to press the game at the moment. We need to do something. We need to have an effect on it, as we're still lagging by 4 points. 25 minutes to go, though, plenty of time. Halifax well offside and well done, guys. Well spotted. Oh no, popping out the scrum, right? Men offside as well by a mile on this left side. But now Rovers deep into opposition territory. What can they do here?
A superb touch finder by Gasmore. Gets Rovers from on their own 14 to onto the Halifax 20-metre line. Here's Teasdale now. So no options there for him, so has to take on the line.
Take a shot.
Bussey to Moore. Moore! Gareth Moore! What a run from Gareth Moore! Rovers have closed levels. It was superb play. Teasdale from the play of the ball moved the ball out to the left to Gareth Moore. Gareth Moore ducking and diving. A try very much in the mould of Andy Kane, the way he ducked and dived under. But Gareth Moore with the try. Rovers are level, and now Rovers. This is a massive conversion from all this one. Nudge Rovers back in front. It's all square here at the Big Fella Stadium. Featherstone Rovers 16, Halifax 16.
Gareth Moore there, he had men outside of him, but he elected not to use them and he danced his way through. We know we've got it down the fringes, we've said it again and again. And we sent it short side there, able to find our way through. He's now taking his level, can he take us in front with the conversion here?
A massive kick this for Gareth Moore in the context of this game. It's that tight, it's on a knife edges this match, it can easily go either way. And if it is level, I think we might even go into bonus point, it's a golden point. If the scores are level at the end of this match, we'll have the...
We all know how that ends up, right?
Gareth Moore has kicked it. If it is level at the end of 80 minutes, then we will have the golden point. As Joe says, we all know how well that goes down at Featherstone. I can't remember if Featherstone have won a golden point match yet, Joe.
Not one in recent, certainly not. Yeah, I don't think I can take another golden point down at Victoria. I don't think I can take another golden point in the playoffs, and I don't think I can take one involving Featherstone and Halifax.
Of course, the history between those two golden point matches says it all. The grand final of 4 years ago when Halifax did it to Rovers. But Rovers at the minute with the noses in front, a 2-point lead at the moment. Here's Lockwood to Moore. Andy Kane. Here's Sean Pick. Rovers seem to have got a bit of spring in their step at the minute. Teesdale finds Steve Crossley now. Halfway. Crossley makes 5-6 metres with 4 men around him. It's still off. Teesdale! That's got to be a high tackle! That's got to be high! Oh my lord, he had his head taken off! What an offload it was by Crossley! A superb run by Teesdale, and he had his head taken off! Joseph?
Unbelievable sight! Will Teesdale's looking on top his head, well, he's on the other side of the stadium. He could have found himself being the first head in the new stand the way that challenge came in. That was ferocious, and we can't be having that. Come on, the lad looks certain to score, cutting through the Halifax defence. Great offload from Steve Crossley, by the way. But yeah, cutting through the Halifax defence. And just a malicious challenge from Halifax. Looks like we'll only receive the penalty and no further action taken here. Can't be having that happen to one of our young stars. We need him in these upcoming games. Oh, what a soldier. He's alright to carry on.
Indeed he is. No action taken by the referee, not even put on report. Lockwood. Rovers hammering the Halifax line now. How nice would a try be right now? 20 minutes left here at the Big Fella Stadium. It's Kyle Trout! Kyle Trout is over! The Featherstone Rovers! A simple try from the base to the scrum. A simple pass from Teesdale. Kyle Trout took on the line, managed to get the ball over the line. Rovers have got a 6-point gap. When the try is converted, it'll be 8 points. Just what Rovers need in such a tight match. Catches by Featherstone Rovers 22, Halifax 16.
We now enter the final quarter, and Featherstone Rovers enter 5th gear. Can't count their fighting his way over. Great ball into Trout, finds his way under the sticks, and it's now going to be a certain conversion for Gasmore to extend the Rovers lead. Really coming in with a fine flurry now. All we need to do is sort out the line defence today. The world's our oyster. We'll even have Lee in grand final, who knows?
Indeed, 3rd try of the season for Kyle Trout. And what's the time to get it? A massive try in the context of this game. And Gareth Moore, I can't see him missing this one, although stranger things have happened. The flags go up. Rovers have a 2-score lead. Featherstone Rovers 24, Halifax 16. How important is discipline now?
Discipline is huge now, because discipline is a huge part of field position. And we've seen we're still weak and there's still frailty when we're on our own line. So let's make sure play stays away from there.
Indeed, here come Rovers now, trying to work out from their own 20 with Lockwood. Moore to Crossley. Rovers showing that confidence now. They've got that confidence back in the play. And when Rovers are playing with confidence, there's only one team I can think who could possibly even match that. Andy Kane with a kick through. That's a 40-20. Has he gone? Has he gone? No. The roll of the ball then. It was a kick towards the corner from Andy Kane. It was a brilliant kick. It just agonisingly trickles down just inside the touchline and goes dead in the in-goal area. So Halifax now in possession. They need something now. They've got a penalty now for offside. Here's the field position coming up that Joe was talking about. Halifax are in the Rovers 40. 30 even.
Yeah.
Here's Luke Ambler. Halifax will look into their big game players now. The likes of Scott Morrow. The likes of Paul Mennell. Here is Mennell. Through the hands it goes. It's juggled by Gareth Potts. They're just on the Rovers 20. 5 metres in from touch on the right hand side. Here's Jack Spencer. Morrell, Devotee, well wrapped up well, Hardman, Kane, and Trout. Teasdale even. Halifax hammering that Rovers line. Sam Brooks edging closer. Ambler with a pass over his head. Oh, what a mistake by Benny Kay. That is an awful mistake. And Halifax turn over the possession. It's got to be offside, referee, surely. I can't think of anybody. It's a penalty for Rovers. Josh Moore's winning the penalty. Oh dear. Luke Adamson does not like that. As Andy Ellis returns. And we're very shortly going to be seeing the return of Matt James as well. As off comes Jack Bussey. 15 minutes left on the clock, Joe. This is getting tasty.
It is, and we've got to be careful here. The nature of the playoffs is our next game. It's all or nothing. This game, you know, you go out, you've got a second bite of the cherry. On the next one, we can't afford to lose, so we need all our squad available. Don't get embroiled, don't get involved with any of the nonsense Halifax might want to bring up. They're losing by 8 points, they'll try anything. We can't have play suspended.
Certainly not. Here's Moore to Worthington. The atmosphere in this stadium at the moment is absolutely electric. As Lockwood on the charge down that left channel. Ellis goes to short side. Ellis! Oh, it was a nice idea. It was the right idea. Ellis, the pass was on, and if Crooks could have taken it, he had a walk-in.
Today's official attendance here at the Big Fella Stadium is 1,478. That's 1478. Thank you very much for your support.
1,478 here at the Big Fella Stadium. Not quite sure about that one myself. The cameraman just looked at Joe and smiled. Joe's just smiled at both of us. Halifax have got possession though. The chance was on there, Joe, in the corner. If that pass had gone to Crooks, it was over.
Well, yeah, Luke Teasdale's put on a fine show since he came onto the field. He enters and, hey, I have to show what I can do. This young whippersnapper can't come in and take my glory. So Andy Ellis there looking dangerous in the corner. Halifax, of course, receiving a whole 739 of those entrance fees. That's got to be big money in the bank for a team that, of course, by not coming second, didn't get 450 either.
Indeed, Halifax are heading the Rovers half. It's a kick from Morrell. It's a deep kick. What's the chase like? It's a good chase, but it's well taken by Will Shaw. Safe as houses, and here goes Jason Crooks. Jason Crooks has just sent Luke Adamson staggering back 5 yards. Here's Gareth Moore now. 12 minutes left on the clock here at the Big Fella Stadium. Andy Kane, Lockwood passes. Worthington's away. Is it Worthington? Yes, it is. Not often you see Lockwood pass, but that pass was on, and indeed Lockwood does take on that line now. Rovers are in the Halifax 40. Here's Moore with a kick through. That's going to hold up, is it? That was close. The winger over on that far side was pretty confident it was going out. Jason Crooks made sure they gave it a good effort to try and get there. This is a really tasty game as Adamson now Plays the ball to Morrell. Right down beneath us. Ben Kay, that's in half-back. Morrell again. Adamson again. Here's Luke Ambler. Menno with the inside pass to Adamson. Here's Morrell trying to orchestrate things. Finds Ross Devorty. This is still not over by a long way. Benny Kay finds Morrell again. Morrell with a crossfield kick. Who's underneath it? Halifax are. Rovers didn't even need to really challenge for that. Adamson finds Morrell again. Robinson. That ball has come loose. Rovers have got it back. Superb defence from Featherstone Rovers, Joe.
Yeah, Halifax trying to flick it to the offload, but Rovers is snatching. And Sean Pick is so eager to get quick to the ball, but this right side's really been short roll up now, and they're keeping Halifax out well. Now we're bringing it upfield, and we have the wind behind us. We've got the wind in our tails. We're definitely looking up for it as Andy Ellis there brings it cutting through this Halifax defence.
Indeed we are. Greg Worthington, that's in half-back, takes on the line himself, gets Rovers to halfway, and in trots Gareth Moore to acting half-back now. Moore is going to kick from acting half-back. That's all Rovers need to do. Rovers pinning, doing the basics right here, pinning Halifax back in the Rovers in their own half, in their own 20s. Halifax are in no rush to put this scrum down. And we're inside the last 10 minutes now. Featherstone Rovers leading by 24 points to 16. That's 5 minutes. Start anything. Greg Worthington wants to have a touch of cramp. And Steve Crossley's new boot, so we have got a stop in play. The players are probably grateful for this stop in play. It's been frenetic stuff here at the Big Fella Stadium, Joe. What a match we've had this afternoon.
We certainly have. Both teams definitely going at it. And we've really seen the Rovers learn something here. You know, they've showed up their discipline and they're going all out of the Halifax side to keep them away from their try line. They've identified their weakness and said, hey, let's just play it up their end of the field. Let's not let them muck about near our line, and they can't find a way over.
Indeed, that's very true. And whilst we're on here, I'd just like to give a mention to our former cameraman, Steve Evans, who is down below us in the main stand today. He has recently suffered 2 minor heart attacks. So I'd like to give them, on behalf of Fev Rovers TV, best wishes go out to Steve and his recovery. Here come Halifax now. An untidy play of the ball there, it has to be said. And Halifax are just short of halfway. Ross Devorty in attack in half-back. It's a new one. Menno moves the ball out wide. Through the hands it goes. Halifax over on that far side. This is the last tackle. It's going to be the turnover. That is poor play from Halifax, Joe. The last tackle, a chance to put an attacking kick in. Penn Rovers in their own 20, and they turn the ball over.
Yeah, Halifax unable to get the ball anywhere near our end of the field, and here we are, Rovers just inside their own half. With an opportunity to kick-start something here against Halifax, get something going, get a move on near the line and find our way over again. Already with 2 scores, the lead. It's a big ask for Halifax.
It is, and I know it's in terms of this 2-score lead, it's not much of a difference. But do you start thinking about a drop goal? Could that knock the stuffing out of Halifax, maybe? We'll ask Joe about that in a minute. Here's Andy Ellis, though, acting half-back. Finds Sean Pick. Sean Pick takes on Luke Adamson. Crossley's trying to organise with Andy Ellis. Kick through from Andy Kane for the corner. Truck's chasing, it has run dead. Touching goal, so that'll be a scrum down head and feed to Halifax. Drop goal, Joe?
The lead's only at 8 points, but you know, with a drop goal, they have the kick-off and they can either pin us back or win it back from the kick-off. So it is a dangerous thing to go to. Yes, you know, you put it so if they only scored 4 points with each of their tries, they wouldn't be level and we'd take the lead. And it does waste some time on the clock. So it's a possible option, not one I'd go for when we're pinning Halifax back well and we're controlling the game well enough.
Indeed we are. Halifax are penned on their own 10-metre line, trying to get out of there. A penalty will be very nice for Halifax. Rovers need to keep the discipline here. Halifax will be looking at trying every trick in the book to try and win a penalty. Instead of winning a penalty, they've got up possession. It's a free play, Hartman. It was worth the try, it was a free play. If the kick had got through, Crooks had a run for the line. But Halifax coughing up possession of all places in their own 20-metre area, Joe.
Yeah, you don't see many cheeky things from Ian Hardman like that. Maybe in his dreams in the grand final or something like that, but he had to go for it. It's on the free play. We've got the ball now here in the dangerous area. Plenty of options at the scrum. Let's get someone on him there after as we take it short side here. And Ian Hardman runs us into the 10.
It does indeed. Rovers on the 10-metre line, 10 metres in from touch on the right-hand side. Ellis to Andy Kane now, centre field, finds Gareth Moore. Moore to Wilshire. Worthington to Blackmore on that wing. Rovers going through the hands. And Worthington waits now. Worthington goes himself. Pushed back by the Halifax defence. Will Sharp now goes into acting half-back. He'll find Gareth Moore. Moore to Lockwood. Lockwood takes on that line. Here's Steve Crossley. To Gareth Moore again. Andy Kane. Inside to Matt James. Matt James! Matt James is over for Featherstone Rovers. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that. Superb play from Rovers. The mistake from Halifax in their own area. A cheeky attempt by Hardman to send Crooks in. From the scrum, Rovers went left. They couldn't get over themselves. It came back to the right-hand side. A pass from Andy Kane to Matt James. Matt James using all his strength to reach out and get that ball down over the line. 6 minutes left on the clock. Rovers have now got a 2-score lead. Featherstone Rovers 28, Halifax 16.
That's it, I'm calling it, game gone. Just over 5 minutes to go, we'll be 5 minutes by the time Halifax kick off again. Yeah, the lead's now too big. If Gazmore puts this over, that's it, that's the game. And Halifax will have their field then before having to play us again if they do manage to get through that. With Sheffield peaking in this late stage of the season now, no thanks to some former Rovers players, they'll certainly pull up a difficult task. Also, with the week off though, I'll favour us against either of those opponents having had a tough game.
Indeed they will. It's going to be a tasty affair at the Shea next week. Gareth Moore has kicked it. It's a 14-point lead for Featherstone Rovers. 5 minutes left here on the clock. Featherstone Rovers 30. Halifax 16. Joe, there's been a lot of tough, gritty performances out there this afternoon. A lot of standout performances out there this afternoon. As Rovers knock on from the short kick-off. Now Halifax are rushing to put the scrum down as the referee stops the clock. Joe, your man of the match, please.
Yeah, we just saw there from the kick-off, by the way, that is an argument for not going for the drop goal, because in these 10 stages of the game they can go with a short kick-off and come out lucky like they did just there. Take it short side as well. Man of the match, plenty of options. I think the forwards have come good in the second half particularly, but perhaps were culpable for some of the defensive frailties in the first. Luke Teasdale, I think, was a big part of getting the revival going. Really added some impetus around the ruck area. As Austin Boyd misplaces his pass. but I think it has to be Gareth Moore. He's got an excellent try of his own and really kept us ticking. His game management was superb, some of his deep kicks, making sure territorially we were playing in the right areas of the field. And I think that's what won us today's game.
Gareth Moore then named man of the match for the second week in a row by Joe. Superb performance again after a great performance last week. Scott, I think the game has gone. A kick there, an attempted kick through there by Scott Morrell. A bit of a nothing
And
kick.
the man of the match, sponsored by Seagreen Contract Limited, goes to number 7, Gareth Moore.
And the sponsors man of the match, they agree with Joe. It's been given to Gareth Moore as well. Hardman has also been outstanding today. Here goes Blackmore though from Matson halfback. He's had a quiet game by his standards. He's done what is needed to do. As Andy Ellis waits, that ball's come loose. And it's either penalty to Rovers. Jason Crooks applauds the touch on this near side. When the game's gone, the game's gone. If that was a tight game, I'm not sure quite sure that would have gone to Rovers. But Andy Kane finds touch. A good touch finder. And Rovers are starting in the Halifax 40. Hardman takes that tap to Sean Pick. What a run in from Sean Pick. He's met by Adam Robinson. Kane now shows it twice. Finds Moore. Moore! What a pass! That is absolutely fantastic play from Featherstone Rovers. Gareth Moore went through a gap. A flick pass, I think it was, to Andy Kane. Kane put the kick through to Moore to chase. And it was knocked dead by Halifax. Gareth Moore and Andy Kane showing the class there, Joe.
Yeah, we've got it. Halifax managed to get the ball dead there on the bounce, so win the ball back. Andy Kane and Gareth Moore now knowing that we have the game won, so expressing themselves a little bit. Andy Kane, no, we're a bit worried about an injury there. He was just adjusting his sock.
I'd say nothing. So the scrum goes down and Halifax have got the ball back, but they are penned on their own 10-metre line. They have got the length of the field to go in 2 minutes. I think it's pretty safe.
3 times as well.
Yeah, 3 times. I think it's pretty safe to say that next week down at the Shea, you're going to be seeing Halifax play Sheffield Eagles. And Rovers are going to get a week off. And after the run-in that Featherstone Rovers have had, I think it's safe to say it's been a well-earned week off. Menor moves that ball out. Halifax able to spin out a tackle. That's probably the first tackle that Gareth Moore has missed this afternoon. Here's Tony Tonks. If you're listening on the stream, I would definitely recommend getting a copy of this DVD if you're not here today. A superb afternoon's entertainment, and we're going to see a substitution to run the clock down. We're going to see the return of Keegan Hurst. Boos come out from the touchline below us. I'm not sure what that's all about.
Chip.
The scrum has gone down, head and feet to Rovers. Halifax fans are claiming that Rovers did touch it. Andy Ellis points at Callum Casey, then moves inside to Will Sharp. Ellis takes on that line himself. Andy Ellis, that's a great run, gets Rovers to halfway. And Will Sharp is waiting, attacking halfback. He finds Andy Kane. Andy Kane shows it and then changes direction. Back to Ian Hardman. Hardman with a kick over the top for Crooks. Crooks has got it! Yeah! Oh yes! Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Hardman and Jason Crooks take the bow. Champagne stuff from Featherstone Rovers. Jason Crooks gets his 13th try in 13 games. The Featherstone Rovers attacking down the right hand side. It's a great pass from Andy Kane to find him after the change of direction. Hardman with a kick over the top. Jason Crooks able to shrug off the defenders like they weren't there. Picked that ball up and had a straight run for the line. I'll talk to Joe about the try in a minute as Gaz Moore lines up this conversion. This is going to be the last action of what's been an enthralling match here at the Big Fellas Stadium. The kick is missed. I don't think anybody particularly cares. What an afternoon's entertainment here at the Big Fellas Stadium.
The final score, Featherstone 24, Halifax 16.
They all started off so well for Rovers in that first half. We'll talk about the match as a whole in a minute. First of all, Joe, what a sublime try to round off a fantastic afternoon entertainment.
Yeah, brilliant little chip over the top this time coming off Ian Hardman. And Jason Crooks, blimey, that lad had pace to burn, didn't he? Yeah, left in the opposition for dust as he went in. There was no stopping him once he got through there. One-on-one, how are you going to stop the manager? So compact as well and so powerful he is running. Near the line, they weren't going to be able to hold him up. So they want to try out in the corner. To top it, it's been a good performance by the Rovers team, particularly in the second half, and particularly going forward. If we put that attack in this way, we'll be in trouble for most sides. And if we can shore up the defence on our own line, is there any stopping
Indeed, a fantastic performance for Rovers. Started off so well with Tim Spears getting his first match of the season. Greg Worthington is limping. Not sure how bad that is. We'll try and get news on that for you when we can. But Tim Spears started off with his first try of the competitive season in the 12th minute. Ben Kay then hit back for Halifax before two further tries in that first half gave them a 14-6 lead. Sorry, a 16-6 lead before Luke Teasdale hit back with a fantastic hooker's try to get Rovers back within 4. That was as you were at half time. 15 minutes of non-stop action at the start of the second half. Both teams giving it everything. The first try was going to be crucial either way. If Halifax got it, they had a 2-score lead. As it was Rovers who got it. Second half tries for Gareth Moore, Kyle Chow, Matt James and Jason Crooks, 3 of which converted for Moore. And what's equally impressive, Joe, Rovers have kept Halifax to 0 in the second half.
Yeah, I think we saw a great display, but of course you've got to take into account the extra fatigue Halifax will have undergone. With those players unavailable, maybe they'd have been able to cause more trouble, particularly on the fringes, if they had Fieldhouse and Sachs in the team. Certainly players who have got to and in this fixture, Tommy Saxon scored some trouble for us against the Halifax side previously. So players to be wary of, then they'll certainly cause trouble for Sheffield if those players are available.
Indeed, the Rovers were thinking a very keen eye on things next week at the Shea to see who they're playing a fortnight. It'll be Halifax against Sheffield next Sunday at the Shea. As things stand, Rovers are getting a week off. The final score here at the Big Fellas Stadium: Featherstone Rovers 34 it was. Featherstone Rovers 34, Halifax 16. Thank you for listening to the Rovers stream and goodbye.